Okay. Let's see. Let's see who they won. Let's see. Let's see who they won.
It's time to see who they want. I'ma kick back and roll me a blunt with the culture. We know it's trending, it's over. I can't respect your feelings. I touch your shoulder, fuck your feelings. We the culture, we know who they want. Who they want, we know who they want.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the Steady Approved podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's Steady Approved, then it's ready. And we're gonna chop it up today. We got some things going on in music culture that needs a little steady approval. You know what I'm saying? So today's topic is what actually makes an artist ready. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to be next, but not everybody is ready. So before we dive into that, we're gonna hop into some entertainment news. And of course, rapper NBA YoungBoy has released a statement on, apparently he's been compared to the hip hop version of Michael Jackson. And his statement, it reads, quoting him, he says, "I don't know nothing about no Michael Jackson. I don't understand the stardom. I feel like certain shit be exaggerated sometimes. You got to think about it. They exaggerate about me sometimes. That's like it's going too far. You know what I'm saying? Like he basically letting everybody know that all the comparison talk, all that talk is y'all doing a little too much on him. Like he know who he is, he know where he come from, and he damn sure stand on business about who he is and where he come from. You know what I'm saying? I know over the past few months, NLE Chopper has took it upon himself to make a couple of diss tracks, while NBA YoungBoy just happened to be on the definition of being unbothered, right? It's when you got another artist trying to dish you and knock you off your pivot, and the only thing you focused on is getting your bag. So big ups to NBA YoungBoy. I hope he has a successful run and he doesn't fan out. You know what I'm saying? So jumping back into what actually makes an artist ready. You know what I'm saying? If you're just tuning in, this is Steady Approved on the Rocksteady Media Network. And of course, y'all know who I am, DJ Steady Ready. So tonight is all about talent alone, not cutting it anymore. Like you can have all the talent in the world, you know what I'm saying? Another little news droplet, rapper J. Cole um is planning on dropping the fall off, his mixtape that he's been talking about for quite some time. He's been giving us a couple of snippets, and he's prepared to drop something new and exclusive. And he's getting some big ups from New York rapper Jadakiss, also bigging him up and basically saying, hey, he got a mixtape coming up, right along with that project. He got some more stuff in the works that's gonna be dope. I mean, as far as lyricism go, J. Cole, well, I don't know where my mind went, but J. Cole is definitely one of the ones that definitely can give you bar for bar. You know what I'm saying? And after kind of taking, in my opinion, a little hiatus since the whole Kendrick, Drake, Cole fiasco, the diabolical things that's been happening within the past 2 years behind that, it's good to see Cole kind of coming back to the forefront because I'm looking for it. So I'm figuring that him naming the project "The Fall Off" is him just coming in, probably speaking on all the hearsay, all the stuff that's been going around, saying basically he's falling off and he don't take too kind to all of that anymore. So let's jump right in to the topic. So being ready is more than a hot song, more than studio time, more than posting every day and hoping the algorithm saves you. We're talking about preparation, professionalism, presentation, and whether you understand that music is art, but the industry is business. And oftentimes, mainstream artists, have said in majority of their interviews now, like as they look back over their career, had they knew more of the business that they know about it now as opposed to back then. They feel like they would have had way more of prep time, way more, out career path than they do now, because it's hard, you know, being ready, not even as just a new coming artist. Like, you got to be ready as a mainstream artist who have put decades of work into it. Because I don't know if y'all know or not, but I feel like in our culture, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to hip hop, there's an age cap. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're basically saying there's talk of once you hit like 35 as a hip hop artist, you're already being considered washed up. You don't have it no more. Like, you're not allowed to age with the music, and that's unfair. Is it not, man? Like, you know, I can go on and on about, my era of hip hop, like being in the 90s, like my era of hip hop that I steady approved of. It definitely has to be the, Cash Money No Limit era. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely more team Cash Money. Like, big ups to P. I got much love to P. So I guess if we want to recap on that versus battle that took place last year, I was rooting team Cash Money. And I'm not gonna get too much into that politics. We'll settle that for like another Stadium Approved episode. But we talking about like artists being ready for today's time, because you got to look at it. TikTok has really helped launch a lot of numbers for a lot of artists. It's been bigging them up, so that has been really helpful in their numbers, because now we're living in digital time where everything gets counted up by streams. And if y'all not paying attention to the way things are moving now, YouTube has already said that none of the Billboard chart topping streams are going to measure up to the numbers that they let them know we are our own individual streaming numbers, and that's no longer going to be associated with us. And hip hop and the music culture is evolving more as we wait until 2026. This is Grammy season, and a lot of things are getting done in preparation for that, to see who really dropped a really dope album. And right now, if I just had to give a quick prediction on who I approve for to take home rap album of the year this year for the Grammys, I'm feeling like Clips got it. I'm feeling like this is the moment where the artist Pusha T and his brother Malice, known as Clips, you know what I'm saying, are gonna take home that Grammy. And I could be totally wrong, because there's a lot of politics involved with Grammys. But big ups to everybody nominated. I might do y'all an episode and give my predictions. So tonight we're gonna ask some real questions. Can you perform your record live? Like, do you have anything in your repertoire that you could perform live? Like, a lot of artists, can make good music and got a good bop to it. It's good, coming through the speakers. But when it comes to live presence, a lot of artists don't really match that status quo. And that's no shade to anybody. That's no disrespect. But it's letting us know who you really are. Like, what can you bring on screen live as opposed to what you bringing in the booth? Like, can you really put on a performance? Are you gonna milli vanilla it? Like, I feel like, a lot of stuff is just, copy paste, direct for mainstream, and it wasn't in that fashion. So you need to think about that, artists out there. If you tapping in, if you listening, you know what I'm saying. I'm just sharing what I feel about it, because I met a lot of artists who had some really incredible music, and some of them actually can really put out, really good live performances. I'm not gonna lie about it. They have. And then you got some that need to just, get a little more season on it, get a little more time to rehearse and prepare and build up their confidence. Because sometimes it just be a confidence issue as opposed to it being not a song that's ready for it. So that's how I feel about it. All right. Breathe, steady, breathe. Okay. Do you know your audience are just your friends? That's a great point. Do you know the audience? And I've been trying to say that now. When I've been formulating Steady Approved, I've been talking to my core team, and I'm like, look, when it comes to artists, what I expect now, like when I expect is I'm looking for more outreach from you guys. I'm not looking for you well known in the hood like the dope man phone number. I'm really looking for you to be like on a whole another scale that you can go. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can get way more outreach outside of your city, outside of just that little box of people right there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to go to another city to get that numbers up. Like for me and what I do in my field of podcast, I'm internationally known. So oftentimes majority of my reach can come from a whole nother country than from right here. And I love my people at home. But again, speaking from an artist perspective, I've heard a lot of and a lot of these interviews, they go on these podcasts like Joe Budden, they own Drink Champs, you know what I'm saying? They own $1 million worth of game. And they out there telling y'all that the most love that they receive and more love and outreach that they get is going overseas. That's why they loving it. They getting that international money. So these are just things y'all need to think about as you listening to this show. So is your branding consistent when people look you up? Now that one is very, very important because oftentimes, you know, you the image that maybe your team or whoever you're involved with can market you totally outside the norm of who you are. Like you can be completely nerdy in a sense outside of putting on, the gear and going out there and being packaged as your deal with it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But you know, as far as us looking up, like, do you separate it? Like, oftentimes, I'm learning, for myself that when it comes to these type of topics like that, like branding being consistent when people look you up, that's why I make sure that hey, look, before you dive in, let me make sure that that is matched up with my core, so that it backs us up, people. It makes total sense to me because if your branding is not consistent, if your branding has a lot of fall off and it don't make sense, you know, it it takes away from the target audience. You can miss your audience, you can miss that mark, you can miss being prepared to go out there and perform it live because they check your IGs, they on your TikToks, they on your Facebook, they on your Twitter or X. Like they really looking for like that one little slip up that can change the whole parameter. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it takes. So before I get into the next question for y'all, I'm gonna take a brief intermission real quick because I'm just trying to handle some things backstage for like really, really quick. So y'all stay tuned, keep tapping in, and I'm gonna run some stuff, and hopefully it doesn't miss your attention really quick.
It's almost that time again. You know, us against our dear old Uncle Sam. Don't take the IRS abuse this year. It's our money and we need it now. Why not start your own tax empire by using the help of your tax business genie? We are not only able to give you the knowledge to become a successful tax professional, but also the tools you need to run and manage a very profitable tax business. It's time to stop these generational curses and start generating generational wealth. Let us help you to help others. Your wish is our command.
All right, welcome back to Steady Approved. You know what I'm saying? I'm just dropping a couple of tidbits, couple questions that I want to address with y'all on this particular platform to kind of help best see the approach. You know, mostly reaching out to my artist people out there. You know what I'm saying? Because after 5 years of interviewing a lot of independent artists, a lot of really dope and incredible talent. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see more from them. Not saying they're not doing stuff now, but get them back onto the Steady Approved platform and see, what's their growth levels back. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't about tearing artists down. This is about leveling them up. This is what I'm, doing my damnest to do, is to help level y'all up to the next level, because y'all believe in this platform just as much as this platform believes in y'all, and I support, a lot of talent. But what I am doing to kind of switch things up on Steady Approved is I'm being honest. Like, you got to be open to criticism, which brings in the next point. Are you built for feedback or just compliments? Because oftentimes, if you hang around too many yes men and they just yes in every project that you do, I don't feel like you get the opportunity to harness your craft and really grow from it. I feel like it kind of puts you in that whole, oh, it was good, but it didn't go nowhere. It doesn't have social media presence. It doesn't go past the neighborhood presence. It's not putting you where it can be Billboard charted, where you can have our opportunity to be at the Grammys, And it's crazy because we're losing core shows. Like the Soul Train Awards got canceled out. I think the Hip Hop Awards got canceled out as well. And, BET Awards is cool, but BET Awards, in my opinion, ain't been what it been hitting on since like the early 2000s. Like, it's still giving artists the chance to win something. Like, I'm just saying, on a scale of people that deserve that opportunity to win, because the Grammys ain't meant for us. Oftentimes, you be wanting to see your people win a Grammy, but it takes a lot to break that momentum, that scale, to get in there on the Grammy spectrum. So, if you're an artist who's serious and you take notes, and if you're a fan and you're about to learn why some artists last and others disappear, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of the momentum that I'm going. So anyway, let's kind of, fast forward and get into a little music. I'm going to try this. I just want the disclaimer to be said out loud. I don't own the rights to this music, but I want to kind of check something out and see if Steady Approved, see if it meets the qualifications to be a Steady Approved segment. So let's see.
Running to the checker flag, running through the red light. 12 kept me gunning, won't pull over till I'm dead right. Riding till the sunrise, can't buy no bedtime. Ain't gon' get no bitch riding with me, let their head fly. Better know from West Side Atlanta or the best style, all the way to Crenshaw. I'm out of mind, nigga, better know. Big shit, poppin' ain't no little shit. Dropping bags is a lot to you, to me a little bit. Let them know. Chevy 40 cal in my lap. Real dope boys in the trap. The big yacht, ballin' like a big shot. Niggas on my dick, make room for your big, gotta let them know. I don't turn wrestle, I don't lip box. Solitaires, all I do is big rocks. I came from Dillon Rock, all the way to Hitchcock. On the throne, bitch ain't when I'm on, she can kick rock, let her know. My foot up on the gas, I'm blowing money fast, let her know. I'm on these haters' ass, I know these niggas, man, gotta let them know. Big dog, how we get it bread, I ain't never scared. Big flex on a nigga head, what I'm standing on. Business, big chick, we done did that. Pushing weird back, better give me respect and some more. Atlanta know for I would book a show for $1,000 or so. I was selling grand right on camera till them hammers go. Lane speaking to me what you need a camera for. Center hitter hitting hoes on centerfold, better know. They call it ballin', we just call it living. They say you live and die by your decision. Well, I'ma push it to the limit, never mind the consequences. Interfering, nigga, I'ma handle business, better let them know. On another level, my SS I put together, hit the pedal, do 200 everywhere I go. Better than I stay fly, just to show the day now. On the throne, bitch ain't when I'm on, she can kick rock, let her know. My foot up on the gas, I'm blowing money fast, let her know. I'm on these haters' ass, I know these niggas, man, better let them know. Skateboard P on the track, Louis duffel bag, 50 rack. poppin' so nauseous, I ain't got no country promo like I still got a pocket full of crack. All they do is fight for number 2, cause I'm the one. Still make it play with the one. All we know is success, hit her with some rich sex. Good looking your bitch back, she forever mine till I let her go. Better know, let her know. 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 Keep my foot up on the gas. I'm blowing money fast. Better know, I'm on these haters' ass. I know these niggas mad. Better let them know.
All right. So that was Let 'Em Know by the newly reformed T.I.P. is back. Mr. Trap Music himself, the king of the South. You know what I'm saying? He done cut the locks and he done got back in that booth preparing for what is allegedly supposed to be his final album, Kill the King. And this is supposed to be, I'm assuming, like a single for that project. And he tough. Like, when it comes to bars, T.I. has never been, one of them ones to not disappoint. Like, he definitely, every artist, let me put it like every artist probably got something that from a fan perspective, you'd be like, I expected more. You look for more bars, more cadence, more delivery, more shine for it. And then sometimes you don't get quite that. Like we've been talking about through this series, speaking on my favorite artist, Wayne, and how, critics have pretty much said that his Carter Six wasn't the best project. And I know y'all like, damn, get off this nigga's dick. How many times you gonna keep talking about Wayne and that sentiment? And it's just like, you gotta understand, you know what I'm saying, from a fan perspective, like you grow up with these artists. You expect them to always be on time. Like you expect them to be like the Santa Claus of the music game. Because when they come out, when it's their season and they come out, you expect them to come with a gift. And it looked like it didn't hit or miss. So now that T.I. has dropped that, and then, Cole gearing up for the fall off, these are things for mainstream artists that we can look for. And then you got some things about, artists decline. And with artists decline, like, I hate to talk about it, Nicki Minaj is stirring up some trouble. Like, she's been on her politic level of things because the Barbie side of her, the music side of her, it's not really resonating with her core audience anymore. So now she has to make headlines doing other things in order to try to maintain some sense of relevance. And at that point, it's kind of like you refuse to bow out. So now you're just looking for other, cause of distraction or disruption in the core. When, again, speaking from a fan perspective, you haven't given us nothing hot since, like, a complete project since the Pink Friday album. Now you gave us singles, you gave us features. You know what I'm saying? You can go toe for toe still to this day, but that consistency has lacked. And now that Fetty Wap is back out of his incarceration situation, do he got what it take now? Like when you talk about artists and fresh from doing a bid, I don't. Again, that spark ain't there no more. So now you slowly trying to start fires, but instead of using gasoline, y'all putting kerosene, and it's a slow burn to try to get that relevancy back. And a lot of times y'all just you miss your mark. Like there's an alleged thing floating around social media, apparently talking about Pooh Shiesty allegedly holding Gucci Mane at gunpoint, trying to be released from a contract. And I can't confirm or deny whether that's a true thing, but I know a while back, interview on Big Facts, Gucci was speaking on waiting on Pooh Shiesty to come home, and they supposed to be cooking up some new stuff, But again, if I had to be honest, on Steady Approved, I never really seen Gucci's label 1017 Brick Squad really produce, with the exception of Pooh Shiesty. Like I don't see nobody consistently holding up labels. See, Let's talk about that. What makes an actual artist ready? Like, what makes them ready? Are they ready to, take up the mantle as we watch our founding fathers of this hip hop take their exit out and switch more from, instead of being in front of the camera, to behind the camera? You know, I talk about it all the time. I'm gonna talk about it again because if this show is called "If You're Steady Approved is Ready." Okay, so again, an example of a company that I don't see thriving. Young Money. Not saying they're not getting money because Wayne is a workaholic, but what I'm saying in that moment is that I don't think Wayne is actually ready. Like, I don't think he got nobody consistently that can drop his album like that. I don't think he got nobody. And like holding up, not album, nobody's holding up Young Money like that. Be for real. Since Drake and Nicki actually left as actual artists of the label, ain't nobody been holding down the fort. Don't nobody in life say gutter gutter. Nobody. Nobody in life say gutter gutter. Cause I don't think he got what it takes to hold down Your Money. You know what I'm saying? So again, talking about artists is like Pooh Shiesty trying to hold down 1017 Brit Squad. He done did a bid. He done flamed out. And now that these artists are coming out kind of on a probationary period, there's a lot of stuff that they can no longer utilize in their music, and I feel like it jeopardizes their core. So again, this kind of goes back in reference to, can you perform these songs live? Because not everybody can pull an NWA and go out there screaming "F the police" and think there won't be consequences for saying these things. Just think about it. Just think about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to welcome a guest to the Steady Approved podcast. Y'all know him, part of the Loudmouth. Y'all know him for rocking with DJ Steady. You know what I'm saying? One of the dopest artists out there. My man Chifa is in the building.
What up, Steady?
Hey, what's up? See, I'm up here talking about Pooh Shiesty, and you come up here just like that. So that's what you doing? You on your
Hey,
Shiesty today?
I'm known for the shiesty anyway, so I like wearing my shit. Keep my shit on.
How you living, brother?
I'm good. Ready for the topic.
What
You know what I mean, the behind the scenes, the topic. I'm really curious to what you what was going to be the question, because once I sent the or saw the promo, I was like, okay, when are artists ready? Like,
right.
What's the specific? You know what I mean? Like, ready to start making music, ready to start dropping music on a label, ready to start working with other artists, or that's all I'm saying. Like, I was waiting for the breakdown. Like,
absolutely. So one of the core questions that was asked earlier, now that you're here, you can give your input, was, are artists able to be able to perform their records live? Like, do they have material that they can actually go out and perform live? Like, preparation, their professionalism, like what is their cadence level to really being able to perform live, as opposed to, how some artists can put together dope songs and it sounds good in the studio, but then when you perform it out loud, it don't have that same trailblazing effect,
or they don't sound the same if they don't have.
There you go.
Also, a quick thing to put on that is also, does the artist, can they remember their songs? Or are their song playing in the background, or are they actually like for instance, I'm not even setting those shots because I'm not really one of them artists that go on there with just instrumental. I like to have my song playing in the background because I sound just like my track, so you can't tell the difference really. Okay. And a lot of artists, they can, they don't use they song, they just use the instrumental and they actually perform their song live like the way it's supposed to be meant to do. But some artists can't really do that. You know what I mean?
True.
They can't remember their stuff, or they just, like, for me, I remember a song when I first started hearing it. I don't know, a lot of people can relate. Like, you don't know the song until it turns on, then you know every word. But if someone's like, hey, what's the lyrics to your favorite song right now? You'd be like, you know what I mean? But if it starts playing, you know every single word. That's kind of like how it goes with performing too.
Agreed. I totally agree with that statement because, that's what I was speaking on. Is I call it like that Milli Vanilli thing. You know what I'm saying? It was all good and gravy till the crowd realized that ain't you putting out that music. That ain't you behind that voice.
No, I
Now,
don't. That's one thing I don't like, the lip sync. The lip. You talk about lip syncing. Yeah,
there you go. You know
there
what
you
I'm
go.
saying?
Yeah.
Once you get put on the spotlight, it takes away from what we lined up for. Like on the radio, it sounded good. On cassette, CDs, streaming, sounds great. Now I done paid all this money to come see you do it live, and you ain't hitting it like I thought you was hitting it.
Well, I mean, there's exceptions and little loopholes for everyone. I think like older artists, and they're like 60 and on their last tour or something, then you should understand that they're not gonna sound like the record they made 20 years ago or 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Because people, their health or just you lose your voice or your voice changes over time, it gets
Yeah,
deeper, and you might,
that
you know what I mean? I
that
can
could be
see that.
expected from that perspective. But again, if you speaking from hip hop terminology, uh, I was speaking on it earlier before you got here. I was like, I feel like hip hop is the only department, the only genre where they feel like once you done hit 35, that's it. You done hit your peak. We don't expect no further in hip hop unless you just doing mad tours to kind of keeping it balanced.
Or you were already established before that age. It is like a little challenging for an older artist to make it mainstream if they already, because I like one thing that I wanted to focus on with the topic you gave me was just one saying, and is just because you have success don't make you an artist, and it's art, like having success don't make you an artist, like being an artist
Mm,
is being an artist. Just because you get 1,000 views, 2,000 views on a song don't make you an artist that day. Like when you started creating, you became an artist. And a lot of people just look at success and be like, well, they're not successful, they're not an artist, they're not a rapper, because they don't see the
that's true.
success.
Exactly, bro. And it's definitely a lot of that now because of the use of social media platforms. And you can be trendy, but then just like one of the questions say, are you just trendy because you done got a group of your friends massively share and everybody creating all these ghost accounts? See, they don't want to be honest, creating a lot of these ghost accounts to push you through the algorithm. When in reality is you need to stop hanging around a bunch of yes men and you need to really level up.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. Like you can also know when you're ready, like to make music is whenever you're feeling creative or you're making your own melodies or something, and then like knowing that you're ready to move on to like, oh, I'm gonna start putting money into this, or I'm gonna start like trying to find a way to promote this. And a lot of people use the wrong promotions. A lot of people use those bot promotions, or if they don't really like go behind, like even with podcasts, they don't really pretty much watch you, figure out who you are, and then come on. It's kind of the
Correct.
same thing with music. It's kind of like they just go and find something and be like, oh, I'm gonna just do that. And then they wonder why like things get took down or people don't believe they views because they're using a certain promotion that is known for faking their views. And that's why people don't respect your success at that rate too. Or as an artist, they feel like you like shortcutted your way in there.
No, man, and it's crazy because now it's kind of hard to believe, especially with AI music, you know, getting more popularity now. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we listen to certain things, we really expect more of a live presence to kind of know, was that really you or was that
Yeah, like
automated?
you in a lyrics episode or your segment, he almost touched on that because he misheard what you said. I think it was about A&R, and he thought you said
Correct.
AI. But
Right.
yeah, that's definitely a play into it too. Nowadays, like a lot of people are using those writing apps, and then I feel like to me, like if you go and you don't write the song and you're making something else write the song, are you really an artist? Or are you just a rapper? That's like, or like Bro would say if he was here right now, are you an MC? Can you move the crowd? Because if you're using AI, you're not the one moving the crowd. You're coming up with a style and saying it or something, but a lot of people are using it to make music videos as well, like trying to find their way out of like, oh, I'm just going to use the AI music video, but I'm going to make real music and just have the AI do the music video.
Exactly, bro. And it's not like I'm one of them people like very open minded. So when you ask me about it and we got a politic about it, I mean whatever works for you. But I feel like the authenticity gets lost when you rely on it. There's the debate of if you just rely on it, you know what I'm saying. If they caught episode 1 of the Steady Approved, my buddy Capo was explaining that. Like if you just rely on it to be your whole foundation and you don't put your soul into it, then it takes away from the value of what you're putting out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying during the show. YouTube has now basically saying they don't want the billboards and all these things. So whatever numbers you do on YouTube, it's just gonna be for YouTube only. So whatever you build on Spotify and on these other platforms, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to really build your analytics because you relying heavily on just one main source.
Would you consider, if you're using AI to write music, would that be a ghostwriter at that point, or would it just be using tools to better your, your craft?
I would say a tool to better your craft, because I would say that only because you already know what you're going to say. Like, when I utilize it, majority of the stuff that I layer out is stuff that I'm already putting together. Like, this is how I want it. I just want it structured more professionally when I put it out. Yeah. It's still me. So I use it from a tool aspect. But if you speak it from me, if I was an artist utilizing it, this is ghostwriting. If it's word for word, verbatim, you don't change nothing. You don't try to add your own energy into it, and you just going completely scripted.
But, I mean, then the question could become: do you have to pay the AI for the rights? Then would the company get the rights? For, like, how is that even? That's like a question I got that I haven't really. I try to do my homework, but like Timbaland's dealing with it right now. Does he gotta Does he own everything just because it's an AI artist, or does he have to pay a company, or does he just buy the rights for that? And now the AI artist is yours?
Somebody for his stature probably buying all the rights out because you don't want it to mess up your rep. You don't want it to throw.
Exactly.
So somebody like that, you're going to go ahead and shoot. Hey, let me go on all the publications, all the master this. So by the time that we do discover that, you done produced the whole AI thing, we can't scrutinize him because, hey.
That's what I'm saying. But now if someone else does what he's doing, do they have to pay him, or is it just, it's free? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it now copyrighted by Timbaland that he just uses that AI artist? You can't use nothing that is close to her, or can I just go make the same artist? You feel me? Like, can I just do the same thing that he did?
It's pretty much copy paste. I feel like it's very much copy paste. Let's not beat around the bush on it. It's very much copy paste because of the simple fact of, like you just said, you saw him do it, and that's again me utilizing artists of today who majority of these artists can sound like a Lil Wayne, look like Lil Wayne, tattooed up like Wayne, but only Wayne can be Wayne. So it's very much copy paste because what we're looking for is your original soul. What makes you, and what oftentimes when it comes to certain AI artists, in a sense, you got to realize some of these artists are developed by actual artists, kind of afraid to really step out into that spotlight to really grow from that. So they might rely on, hey, if I create this digital person and put this music out on this digital persona, it's still me, but it's an alter ego.
Yeah,
What? Come on.
I don't like the AI whole AI thing. I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to touch on too much that you have previous interviews, but maybe that's a good thing. It's just like if you're not creating it yourself, and
there you go.
It's like pretty much like if we can take this and act like, all right, we're gonna take hip hop and act like it's painting. If you didn't brush the strokes normal on the canvas or whatever, like, is it really your art? If you just pretty much asked AI to, like, you know what I mean?
The executive producer at that point.
Exactly. You're not even the artist. I don't know. It just seems like nowadays music, like y'all had talked about last week, or last time you were on, it's just like it's all sounding the same. You know what I mean?
Because bro,
it's like the first thing is everyone's influenced now. Like everything's already pretty much been done. But is it really everyone sounding the same, or is it really the fans wanting to hear the same stuff? Or, you know what I mean? Is it really the fans? Because I heard I loved everything. Like, that was a very good episode. I was really in tune with it. Like, I was like, oh, this is very good. But the one thing I kept asking myself is, really, is it the fans? Like, you know what I mean? The fans are the ones who give the A&Rs the money to be like, okay, they're paying for this. The fans are the one who choose. So if you're not finding new music, And then I also find it hard to believe that there's so many rappers nowadays. There's so many hip hop. We talking strictly hip hop. There's so many rappers. There's so many people that are trying to do hip hop that are so different. It's just we're pushing the stuff that we want to hear or what they think the fans want to hear. So until a fan can pretty much be like, I want to actually go find music that I like, and I'm not listening to, oh, my homeboy listen to this, my homegirl listen to that. That's why I listen to these songs. No one. It's very rare nowadays that the consumer, the fan, whatever you looking at it as, go and find the music they sell. They always hear it from somebody else. They hear it on the radio. They don't actually go and be like, let me go look up, for instance, North Carolina artists. I'm in North Carolina. Sometimes I go look up North Carolina artists just to see like who's next. Can I find somebody? You know what I mean? For instance, like wherever bruh at, wherever, you know what I mean? And by bruh, you know, I'm talking about Lyric or K-Dub, he my brother too, he loud mouth, so wherever they at, I go look up they artists, like who they compete with around now. Like you never know who the next feature gonna be, but I feel like if a lot of other people as fans treat it like artists and would be like, you know what, I'm tired of hearing the same stuff, I'm gonna go find something different. And I'm gonna be the one to pretty much have that badge of honor when I bring it to my friend group and be like, y'all ain't heard this, boom, what y'all think about this? But everyone's so afraid of opinion. Everyone's so afraid to be like, oh, I don't like the taste of music that you like. That we're all settling for one style nowadays. We're all settling so everyone can be like, yeah, that is hot. Yeah, it is. Just like my brother said. You know what I mean?
It's tragic because now nobody's free thinking anymore. Nobody wants to be leaders of the free world. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be one band, one sound, and we're gonna march to the beat of the same drum. You're absolutely right. I agree with that. Steady approves of that statement because that's the reality that we live in. Is consumerism is stuck on one basic theme. They still want early 2000s hip hop. They don't want to migrate to the fact that we're in the futurism of it and it's 2026 and artists like you just spoke, you know, briefly. As artists get older, they're not going to sound like they was in their 20s. They're not going to sound like they was in their early 30s. They're going to think different. You know, their financial status has improved, so of course they can talk richer on the track. But we mad because you're expecting a you from the artist. You expecting them.
You're expecting the struggle music from an artist that's not struggling no more.
Exactly, because I can even say it from a fan perspective and go, I'm used to again. When it comes to like again using Lil Wayne, when we talk trash about when he don't drop something hot, everybody still expects Carter 1, Carter 2, Carter 3. Nobody wants to see that this man is now in his 40s. You know, he's had a history of drug abuse. He's had a history with health issues that can affect the way his thinking process can be now at that stature. Does it take away from him? No. T.I. just played a track earlier from T.I. You know what I'm saying?
T.I. says he's returning.
It done cut the locks. Like he done bought T.I.P. back. Ain't no T.I. returning. Tip is returning. T.I.P.
Yeah, that is a fact. You were right on that one.
See, if you know, you know. See, music connoisseurs gotta know who they're
and that's
trying
another
to do comedy.
thing. When do artists know they're ready to switch their style, switch the lane that they in? Because a lot of people get stuck like jumping onto like, you know what I mean, something that's popular or something that's just a fad for that moment. And then when they switch their whole style of music, it kind of compromises what they did before. And a lot of people, it's kind of like, I like comparing things. I love using examples. I love being able to relate someone who's not a hip hop. I can give them something like, that's what it is. It's like wrestling. When do you turn from heel to the good guy? When do you change your storyline? When do you change your outfit, your theme music? When do you feel like the fans are like, nah, we seen this guy. We heard this song 100 times today on the radio. When is that artist? Which, me and bro were kind of having a little debate because we, you know what I mean? We ain't yes man. Back to that, we always are like talking about. And I was like, I feel like it's the fans because we talked about the interview after. I was like, yo, that was hard. You know what I mean? It was a dope ass interview. Boom. And then, you know what I mean? He still thinks it's the artist. It's really the artist that's gonna bring, you know what I mean, the difference. So. But I was like, nah, I feel like the fans got to accept the artist and be able to, you know what I mean? So it's pretty much perspective of what you feel like when this artist is ready. And that's at the end of the day, it's up to the artist itself to feel like some artists might feel like I'm ready to drop an album. I only need 2 weeks. I'll have this shit done. Some artists are like, give me 2 years. I want to make sure this album is, you know what I mean, completely perfect, set down. But a lot of people, they do that too. And they have a lot of songs in the vault. You hear artists who hold stuff for way too long or don't drop. And I think lately, if we really paying attention, it's kind of dry. Like compared to when artists used to drop back then, they used to drop every 3 months. You would hear something.
Consistency, you're
At least a
right.
single, at least an album, a mixtape, especially when mixtapes was the only way you was getting music because if you know what I mean, the poor folk, we couldn't go buy no damn album or nothing. So we would love it when the mixtapes dropped free, datpiff.com, or you know what I mean, if you were we all know about
Yes.
LimeWire, if you know,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like
Bro.
stuff like that. But you know what I mean, those days are over with. It's like you don't have to work as hard to get your music out there. So now people are not. They're not working as hard to get their music out there. Or they just don't care. Like I like artists who are consistent. Like I can always see them dropping something new. Like, dang, you know, drop something
Back to
else.
back. Exactly. And it keeps that thrill of the hunt. Like now I'm looking for like my ears be looking for, oh, you dropped something. It's been about like you said, 2-3 months. Let me see, does it still hold weight as opposed to that? I'm still looking for I look for fresher punchlines. I look for a different cadence. I don't sometimes repetitive rhyme can be cool depending on the stature of that artist. Because a lot of times, like you said, most of the time when they releasing something, this is stuff that they pulling out they vault that they'll tell you quick in the interview. Oh, I done held that for 5 years.
Yeah, 5-6 years.
Clearance
That was
be
old.
the issues with a lot of these artists why they can't get further on. If you wait on certain clearances that labels don't do, that executives don't approve of, and then sometimes they have to drop it via mixtapes. Sometimes you have to find a way to sneak it in there, and then you be like, damn, that was the hardest verse I ever heard. But not realizing that verse was 2-3 years old, but because of, like you said, the consumerism of what the fans beg for, they have to give the people what they wanted.
Yeah, I think the number one thing that came to mind when I saw the topic I call it topic of the day. I don't know. I don't want to make sure I'm not saying, but the topic that you brought was when is it ready for an artist to drop?
There you go. Specifically, when is it?
Yeah, when is it time to drop that single or that album? And that's one of the ones that has so many angles to actually think about before you actually drop. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways. Some artists wait for they hear a song like that song drop, and they see its success. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Nothing. I don't want to say no names in the mainstream because you never know. I mean, I might blow up and they pull up this DJ Steady interview and be like, "That's what you use me as an example." You know what I mean? And you learn from that through experience. A lot of that's the main thing. I think the main answer. Like, when do you know when to drop? Experience. Just like when you know when to drop your guard when you're boxing, you gotta be boxing for a while. It's pretty much like basketball. Like, when do you know when to take that shot? Oh, you done did it before. So if it's for a new artist and we speaking specifically for someone who, you know what I mean, is just now starting, not really got that much dropped, or, you know what I mean, hasn't really had a career, it's really coming off of, you know what I mean, a lot of people wait for their sound to be already out, which is bad because when nowadays not much, but I'm from like you, I like the old school rule. I do. I like the old school way. I do like, I'm not saying I like the West Coast versus East Coast beef and all that. Nah, but I did like when you heard something from Texas, it was Texas. You know what I mean? When you heard something from Memphis, it was Memphis. You heard something from, you know what I mean, New York, you could tell it was New York. Now it's kind of everyone just does it.
Instantly, you know what sounds, you know what snare to, you knew all the sound, all the bass, all that. You knew the cadence, you know the rhyme style. Absolutely. To now where everything's so jumbled up and screwed, because we done had the mumble rap era.
Yeah, sometimes you think you listen in the future and it's another artist. And you're like, oh, that.
And that's countless times.
You know what I mean? And that's because I use Future not as like as an example because he's so popular. He made so many people do the singing trap music vibe in that way because we did have other people doing it here and there, but he just did it like so he comes so gutted with it where it's like, ugh. And like now everybody has that Future song where they like might smoke a little bit, drink a little bit, and be like, you know what? I usually don't record, but I'm pulling that Future. I'm just going, just you know what I mean. But I feel like the best time to drop is when you feel like it's the best time to drop, which is hard to even kind of say. Like you could look at, you know what I mean, like views or like, okay, someone dropped this song, I'm gonna drop a remix, or you know what I mean? I got a project. I'm just waiting, like, for the energy to feel right, or you know what I mean? A sign. Like some people look at it a lot of different ways of when they want to drop their music or how to drop their music. But I feel like having a team definitely helps. Having other experienced, you know what I mean, artists around you to pretty much tell you how they did it, and then you pick what you think is like successful, what will work for your path. Because there's been even Kendrick Lamar admitted with TDE, and you know what I mean, with the group with Schoolboy Q. It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know why I can't. his little, you know what I mean? Like he was like, oh, I was hurting now because I was doing it a different way than them. And I, you know what I mean? Pretty much went on his own and did his own thing. Like I should have came a different way. I should have did, you know what I mean? I should have dropped different songs and I should have compromised. And you know what I mean? Then the experience, once you go through that, look at what he did when he was all, you know what I mean, by himself. He was like, all right, I got you. You know what I mean? Like I'm not with the group no more. I'm doing a solo thing. And then he knew exactly what to do. Before I feel like he didn't really. And it's just experience, like
that's all it is. Is like you said, it's humbling yourself enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna soak up what the execs saying. I'm gonna soak up what my fans is telling me. I'm gonna soak up, what I'm telling myself. And then you lead from a narrative. Now that you done got all this going on, you kind of cipher through, and you know that exact moment when to strike, when to move. Because like you said, a lot of time artists can do better if they say, nah. Instead of rolling with y'all, I'm gonna step to the side and I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna get my own session after y'all roll out. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I'm gonna be a different beast in that motion.
But you being the artist, I think a lot of people should understand that playing into other people's ideas and your group or your team or your fans, at the end of the day, you got to be 100% like, I'm cool with this. And that's the best advice you should really go for. Like when you're listening to a song, making a song, dropping a song, you should feel like you 100% like no regrets. You feel like this is the best move. And that's like the best time to drop. Even though you can add it all together. That's why I say it accumulates from a lot of different angles to you make a decision. But at the end of the day, the artist should really be 100% ready. Like you shouldn't allow a label to be like, hey, you got to drop this. You're hot. You got to drop this shit right now. And you shouldn't allow like your fans even to be like, do this remix. It would be hard if you do this. You know what I mean? Because it might not come out. I usually, if I'm not 100% sure on something, I'll like see what someone else thinks, and then until I get 100% sure, then I'll be like, okay, I'll make that move.
Strategic. See what I'm saying? That's a strategic approach to help your artistry grow. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure you're very, receptive to feedback, you know what I'm saying, and criticism, and not taking it too much in a harsh way. And look who's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The murder man is stopping through to say what's up to the people. Shout out to Lyric Lyra, my brother from another. You already know. So, but yeah, man, I think you brought some extra and valid points that people need to resonate with it, because sometimes it is too much of that. It's overly saturated with fans wanting to pigeonhole. Don't have no. They got tunnel vision on. I want you to have one sound on. Oh, you don't went country? No, I can't listen to you doing a country song. That's not you. But then that country song can go and do 1 billion streams.
Big extra
they stepped outside of the box.
Yeah, big extra
Prime
plug.
example.
It was definitely that.
Prime example. So message to the fans. If I just had to say message to the fans, get out your own way. You know what I'm saying? Stop pigeonholing artists into that one frame of mind of they can only be as good as their first project. I mean, expand the wing and let the artist be one to decide that, hey, that didn't work. Because most time artists can be real enough and they apologize to their fan. Hey, that last project was ass. So let me get back in the booth and get back to that original core, that original grind, that original grit. Let me get back to that cadence that y'all love, that I know I can bring, that I didn't bring. Because a lot of times, some of the projects they do just because the money be good. And it ain't because they approved of it. It's because
I think a great example is DaBaby. For me,
okay.
Like, you remember when he first came out, he was different. And then the one time, like I always do, you kind of got to watch the fans because they'll switch on you too. And that's with anything, like sports, with, you know what I mean? Like a fan base will switch on you because what they say, like you just said, just keep it the same flow. Like we like you for what you brought the first song. And he did that for how long? Until his fans were like, we tired of hearing the same flow. And he waited a little too long. Besides the canceling, I'm talking about before when Corona hit and he started making the songs with NBA YoungBoy and Top, and he was like, "Oh, I'm bringing something different. I'm bringing something totally different. I'm not doing what I usually do." Then he blew back up, and then of course we all know about the cancel thing and whatever. And you know what I mean? We're not gonna go. That's not what it's about right now. We talking about when you're ready as an artist. So he knew it was time. Like, hey, I got to change my flow. Even though I love it, I got known for it. The fans kept telling me to drop it. Lil Baby did the same thing. Lil Baby did it. He's a good example as well. Like, he had such a unique flow that he could ride for a good minute, and then he wanted to switch it up. The fans were like, "Hey, you need to switch it up." So sometimes the fans will tell you like, "Yeah, keep it the same way," and then a month later, you know, made 2-3 projects that sound exactly the same, but they're all different words. You know what I mean? Different beats and everything, but it sounds the same. And then everyone's like, "Nah, you sound the same."
Yeah, you know,
Nah, you should switch it up.
We're gonna judge you on that. Absolutely, that's what you get held on to, because again, the biggest reason why these are long is because of the consumers. It's because we're clicking the download button, we're clicking the stream button, we're hitting it, we're on these stream sites. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting on it. And some of us are still waiting on these vinyls. Like, a lot of us are still classy enough to say, hey, I want the vinyl copy of these projects. I want something that's going to withstand the test of time. And, you know, it's just crazy, because I was speaking on earlier on artists like Nicki Minaj and her not having the popularity she once had from the artist perspective, and now she's trying to stay relevant by getting into this politic moves, and she's trying to speak out on different things that ain't really for her to speak out on. Or she has the right, by all means, freedom of speech. She can speak out on whatever. But like I told my viewers and my listeners earlier, she hasn't had a good project since Pink Friday. She's had good singles, but she hasn't had nothing consistently to keep her going, and that's why she resorted to, hey, y'all forgetting about me. I'm thinking Glorilla done took over. Meg Thee Stallion.
You know where that kind of, where I kind of pinpoint, just to play the Nicki Minaj when she made that song with 6ix9ine. That's exactly when that happened. She just stopped this shit. I'm just saying. I just want to point out. You gotta know when to do features with people. And in her case, I do want to point. You know what I mean? I don't want to say something and not give the full story. She didn't, like, at the time. I guess he had a song with her, and then that shit happened, and he decided to still drop it. And then she was like, "Oh, you should have," like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, after that happened, and everybody was like on her case, I think she had a beef, like she was going back and forth with Cardi or something, or whoever it was at the time, because she was going back and forth with everybody now. Like, she defending her crown or something, like, and I don't think no one really attacked her. I don't know, it's a paranoia thing, but I did.
It's the thing of not realizing your flame done flamed out. You ain't got it.
Yeah, it's time to move over. Yeah, it's time to be a legend. You ain't got gas
now. With kerosene, and it ain't getting that hype no more. So now it's just like, baby, we done moved on. You cool. You did your thing. Like, I even spoke on about labels not having consistent artists, because I don't know if you heard the alleged situation about rapper Pooh Shiesty. There was an alleged statement put out saying that he had Gucci Mane at gunpoint, threatened to be put off the label 1017 Brick Squad. And we know it's not true. Like, I just know from a recent interview that I spoke, you know what I'm saying, to verify it. It's the Big Facts interview. Gucci Mane was talking about he was waiting on Shiesty to come home. They was going to get in the booth and cook up something. And then now this alleged situation. Not saying temperatures can't change between the release of that interview and his release now, but I just think it's clickbait. I think it's clickbait.
I don't know. Gucci is like 50 Cent. He's a low key. He'll get you in a way. He blackballs so many artists. I'm not saying, but he put so many artists on. But you don't mess with Gucci. I don't know. That don't sound right either, though. Like, why would that even happen? So I'm on your side. I'm like, I don't know. I think that's clickbait. I think that's just something for the fans to just see if it's like they can get some views, or not fans, but the media get some views. Because media gets in the way of a lot of artists too. Like,
right. Even just recent before we get out of here, like Turk being real salty about basically being removed from the Hot Boys, and now he got his Turk versus the Hot Boys little thing going on. He got on Drink Champs running his mouth, and then Juvie put out a statement like he basically calling him a sucker. Like, whatever they love feud is, Juvie don't give a fuck. Juvie gonna come out and say what he said. Like, if you don't like
but low key, you can kick him out the group, but you can't take away what he did.
Bingo. Can't take away the artistry, contributions.
Yeah, so you can say he's not currently, part of the group, but
you gotta look at artists. I was speaking on artists that done did a bid, and they just trying to remain relevant. You got BG, you got Pooh Shiesty, you got Fetty Wap.
BG came back crazy.
Fetty Wap just came home, but does he got what it take to keep the flames going? Bobby Shmurda ain't making no noise now. You know, it's hard to stay consistent.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people before your break, but we talked about like groups. That's why a lot of groups ain't being made. That's why a lot of groups ain't coming together because it's kind of hard to get a lot of people on the same track. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard. Like people take that for granted. At least coming from like my experience, Loud Mob. You know what I mean? Me, K-Dub, Lyric. Like a lot of people take like when you drop a project and it's more than like two or three or four people and onward, or even when you're doing multiple features, like it's harder than everyone thinks it is to get people on the same track for you to deliver that song. That's why a lot of people end up like getting into little beefs that stop their career when it's like, oh, this person didn't drop the song that I made with him. Hey, it didn't. You know
what I mean? But then
they label didn't push it or the artist.
Bingo, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
you gotta look at the footwork.
So it's tricky. The whole when you're ready to make it as an artist or try to make it as an artist, is definitely there's a lot of factors. Like if you're trying to go mainstream, you're trying to go underground. If you know what I mean, you're just trying to make enough money to be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Or you really trying to take it to the level where you like a top 25. You know what I mean, top 10 rapper, or if you're that bold to be like, I want to be the number one rapper ever. Yeah, there's a lot of things that come into play. There's a lot of luck. There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of like. So.
Yeah, but and again, they got to keep in mind this is going to be our closing points. You got to have your cadence together. You got to be able to have records that can be performed live, like you said, on the spot. You know what I'm saying? You got to know your lyrics. Everybody can't pull up again. Everybody can't be like Lil Wayne that you can be so into your box that you don't really know what else is going on. You can't use that. You got to be you. You got to be your own thing. Have your team together. You got to put the fire on their ass, because if you let the industry or whoever your team is control you and put the hooks in you, then you become just as much as an AI artist, because now they're controlling what they want to put out.
Exactly. You gotta be able to take criticism. You gotta be able to pretty much rely on a good handful of people to tell you like, nah, that's not it, or yeah, that's it. Someone to challenge you at times when you feel like something's like 100% perfect. You definitely want someone to be like, it's not. You don't want to drop it and then everyone kept something from you. And a lot of people are very, very much so afraid to put their opinion out there, especially when they're looking at the person that's paying them. You feel me? Like if you're a producer and you're looking at the artist that's like, hey, this guy get done today, you're not getting paid. A lot of people just be like, yeah, you want that? All right, cool. But when you have a real team and a real people around you in any situation, they will be like, nah, you're not moving in the right way. Or yes, this is a good move for you. Like you definitely got the right plan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has reached the end of the Steady Approved, and I hope y'all approve, because Steady said this episode is ready. I appreciate my brother. You know what I'm saying? He just came off of doing that clockwork, hopped in on the Rocksteady Media Network. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna let him relax and do his thing. I'm gonna get up out of here because I got another engagement to be ready for. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the motto here: if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all check out RocksteadyMediaNetwork.com. Make sure y'all go and click that follow button, Rocksteady Media Network. Make sure y'all reach out. And don't forget, if you want to reach out and you want to be a part of the team, feel free to email us at RocksteadyMediaNetwork@gmail.com. Y'all know. Good night, folks.
Let us introduce ourselves. We are Rocksteady Media Network, the only network where we chisel at the competition, one premium production at a time. Don't let your business stay stuck between that rock and a hard place. Let us come in like a wrecking ball and put those worries to bed and rock your media with steady growth. Rocksteady Media Network, we